Coca-Cola stock is currently valued at $62.71. The price to earnings ratio is 26.04. The market cap is $268.44 billion. The annual dividend yield is 3.09%, and the stock is currently up 4.81% in the past year. Analysts are generally more bullish towards the stock, with the average analyst price target of 72.18, the current value at $62.71, the low price target of $64, and the high price target of $85. The dividend compound growth rate is pretty good for Coca-Cola, with the 3-year compound annual growth rate of 4.91%, the 5-year dividend compound annual growth rate of 3.93%, and the 10-year dividend compound annual growth rate of 4.75%. You can consistently and reliably know that Coca-Cola is going to end up paying you an increased value dividend. They've done it for, gosh, I don't even know how many years. I know they're a dividend aristocrat though, and they want to deliver great dividends to their investors, but it's very hard for them to increase that value of that dividend and also try to grow the free cash flow. And I think that's going to be a big problem for Coca-Cola in the future. The weighted average cost of capital of 5.76%. You can see that I used CAPM and then a cost of debt calculator on the top left, and I have the weight of each. And so, you have the cost of debt after tax of 3.18%, and then you have the weight of debt of the total at 13.47%. So that's how much that 3.18% cost is factored into the average cost, if that makes sense. And the market cap is the equity in this situation, obviously. So that gives us a weighted average cost of capital of 5.76%, which I need to put in here. And with a 15% growth rate of the free cash flows, we still get a low DCF per share. It's undervalued by $46.78. Obviously, the stock looks grossly overvalued from this valuation. But I think what I can do to make this, make more sense and seem more fair is if instead of using the real trailing 12-month figure, which this cash flow, which is very low historically, I'm assuming that they're putting in for a lot more growth. So I think we could model after this 2023 number for our number in the future. And then if we put it at a 10%, then there's 11.37% upside. So if you think that, this is going to be the cash flow that we're basically going to be going off of in the future, I think that's how you would look at Coca-Cola. If I was going to be a Coca-Cola analyst, that's how I think I would do it. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think you have to model it by what you think is actually going to be a consistent cash flow in the future, not the one that we just had in this 12-month period that doesn't align with any of the other ones or isn't even like ballpark close to them. So I don't really feel good modeling my model after something that clearly isn't going to be consistently what the free cash flow is going to be, because I don't think any less people are drinking Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a mature company. I don't think I would want to buy Coca-Cola personally, just because I think, it has a monopoly in a sense, but it's not really monopolistic. And there's just constant competition and money that has to go back into advertising and maintaining your top spot. And you just have so far to fall. And consumer preference can change quickly. And that can really hurt Coca-Cola, especially if 10% of people just quit drinking Coca-Cola. They would lose a lot of money. And I don't feel comfortable that's too much risk for a company that doesn't have enough growth to justify it, in my opinion. And so I would just steer clear of Coca-Cola. I think you're probably going to make 2 to 3% every year, but there's a chance that they start losing market share to someone else, or there's a new trend and people just don't like Coca-Cola, or they do something that makes It gives them really bad PR. That could also happen. I mean, it happened with Pepsi. So there's a lot of reasons I think that you should steer clear of this stock, and percent growth rate would be crazy considering the average growth rate, even with this fudged number that isn't real, is still only 4.2%, which would mean that there's negative 30% upside. So I think that this stock is probably overvalued currently. I think it still has some way to fall. I would not touch this stock personally. And yeah, that's my review. I just don't think that you can justify owning this stock at this price. I think I would be looking at, yeah, around $40 a share. I think that's where I'd pick it up. And that's maybe I'm wrong, but I'd rather be wrong and not buy and not invest than the stock guys. Let me know what you guys think if you're going to be buying Coca-Cola, selling Coca-Cola. Um, if you've owned Coca-Cola for a long time, what have your average returns been? Are you concerned about the company? Let me know down in the comments section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Be wrong and invest in it. Like if I claim to be right and lose money, you know what I mean? I just don't like the stock, guys. I don't think it's good.